necessary to remain in a space that is productive, let's just say. You're kind of saying, actually I'm good. Like, I'm not doing more than I need to this season. It's only going to illuminate the insight and the clarity that you need throughout Leo season. Okay, so I'm actually filming this video pretty early. Let me turn on this light. Yeah, I feel like this is a really good time to just step into something quite new. We have the Lovers card here. I'm gonna actually cover this card, Four of Wands. The Lovers does represent love, and a Four of Wands is very powerful love. Again, I'm not someone to see someone, see a lead or see someone's picture or something like that and be like, oh my God, I have to have them or anything like that. A person will look at something and judge it, which I don't. Ace of Pentacles, and then somebody else will see something that is kind of really cool about it. With Mars moving into Gemini, this is a great time to be tactful and a bit thoughtful and have a plan of action when it comes to how you want to do things in a certain way so that things have a steady progression and not just all over the place or flipped on its side in a particular way where things are a bit thrown off. You definitely want to have a pace to things. You don't want to just go in full force. Take the lead in a sense. The Sun in Leo could be very independent. It's a very independent, very strong energy when it comes to the things that you're working on, the things that you are initially setting into motion. And there could be this very strong, very fiery energy that is sort of helping you to really step into a space where you feel a lot more confident towards new ideas, new projects. We do have the Page of Wands card here, which can represent ideas or communication in a certain way or having a plan of action. Virgo is very critical. Now, that's not to say that having a critical eye is a bad thing. It's actually kind of a good thing to be a bit critical. The moon cycles as well are going to flip. They are officially flipped. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it is pouring down rain outside. I do have some surprises that are coming up for you guys as well. I don't want to really talk about all of that right now because it's still in the works. We do have a very significant energy that's coming in with Chiron going retrograde. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. Chiron was a mythological god who was shot in the ankle, I believe. I think that's the story. Don't quote me. When I think about Chiron, I think about Hercules for some reason. I could be totally wrong and people could be calling me out and be that is not what's going on. Though Chiron is the wounded healer. I think he was shot with an arrow that caused him, I don't know, some level of wound, he was wounded. And I mean, this is actually perfect in regards to the weather right now because we are 1000% staying in. If you don't know what a retrograde is, retrogrades are all about anything to do with the word not the word but the format of restructure, reformat, replan, reconsider, reestablish, create, redo, any redo kind of word. Mercury retrograde is already in full force. I mean, it's been in full force, but it's definitely. So we have the Judgment card here and the Emperor. The Judgment card does represent Sagittarius energies, telling people just, to let you step into this world kind of thing. Very slave for you, Britney Spears. Hello. And then we have the Emperor card here, which can represent protecting yourself, what I'm hearing, and taking the time to make sure that you're very well protected. It's giving very much Batmobile, when the shield comes out of the car.
Shields.
But then on Sunday, I went out to go have lunch and lo and behold, Mercury retrograde, man. You never know what to expect, especially with the Mercury retrograde. And then I started thinking about the fact that Mercury retrograde is happening in my 9th house of travel. You may need to kind of take a little bit of time out to just kind of focus in on whatever it is that you need to do. And even though this could be definitely throwing off your connections or your relationships in some way, shape, or form, by the 4th, the new moon in Leo is definitely going to help you get on top of those situations. We do have the High Priestess here. So yeah, I feel like you're going a little bit internal. know where those things are. So in regards to other things that may seem like they're a bit volatile or like disruptive in some way, shape, or form, you're definitely paying zero mind to that. Keep in mind, Mercury retrogrades, sometimes, they can go a little bit fast. It's like they're here one minute, they're gone the next, but it's really about doing the work that is necessary in order to, reformat those plans. The Seven of Wands card here, this is definitely not a time to get like frustrated, defensive, feeling like, oh, okay, like why did this have to happen to me type of deal. Like it's really not that big of a deal. Seven of Wands card here, you could definitely be feeling like, okay, well, let's make sure that like I'm in a place where like things are good and I can do all of the things that I need to do. You're taking it a bit slow and you're being a bit tedious, not necessarily in a way that is like overly, it's like you're trying too hard to like make sure this thing works, or you're like focusing too much, because sometimes that can also not work either. Like you kind of want to definitely go with the flow of things. Sorry, you guys, I just kicked my desk. The Nine of Coins does represent independence. This also represents a sense of knowing yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your value. The Nine of Coins sits very pretty in like who they are, who she is, who he is. When I say he or she, that doesn't necessarily mean really technically anything. You're not too like big on this side with like how things should be working and getting frustrated if they're not, or how things need to work in this little bitty way so that things, can happen in a certain way, when that in itself too is a bit of a detriment to you, because then you're overthinking everything. So the best thing to do is just kind of allow for whatever is bringing you a sense of happiness and growth and excitement and like what makes you feel good naturally. That's what you should focus in on, and zero in on the feeling behind like this new thing. Moon in Leo at 29 degrees is squaring Uranus. So there could be some relationship chaos, some shakeups and or events that have happened in one way, shape, or form with the Five of Coins card here and the Seven of Swords that you have just kind of needed to take action on in order to gain some sort of result, or to have more clarity about the kind of effort that you're putting into the future, or the actions that you're taking behind the work that is necessary in order to keep things moving or growing. We have the Sun card here, which does represent brighter days, with the Three of Swords card here, completion of some old cycles that have definitely fallen away. Three of Swords is an energy of heartbreak, could be like betrayal of some sort, or feeling like almost a sense of like being double crossed in a sense. Definitely does not have to be for all of you. With the Three of Swords card here, this is definitely not the time to connect with anything that has seemed to implode on itself. So we have the Sun card here with brighter days, brighter future. This is definitely a time where you feel that you are coming into a space right now where you're feeling very accomplished. You're feeling very good about the plans, the efforts, the ideas that you have towards progression, forward movement, change in the forefront of your life. You may be also not really focusing too much on the forefront either. This is a time for you to also become very practical in your nature, especially with this retrograde in the sign of Virgo and throughout this Leo season. Yeah, you don't want to jump the gun on things. You want to maintain a level of, groundedness for sure. We have the Three of Coins card here. The more that you're grounded, the more that you find a sensible way to progress and move forward towards things that are initially going to bring you a level of success or some kind of accomplishment, and not taking anyone's shit. It's all about maintaining a practical sense of approach. Anything else, anything lesser than that, anything lower than that, anything on a low frequency, low vibration, anything that's trying to throw you off your course, anything that is not for your highest and greatest good, anything that just makes absolutely no sense, pay zero mind to it. You may feel this shift happening right around this time. Feel confident, feel good about yourself. All right, anything lesser than that can fuck off. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon.